Hey folks, thank you for being here. Now, through my work over the last 17 years as a journalist, I got a chance to interview a lot of leaders, successful businessmen, and wealth generators, and got an insight into their minds and journey towards wealth creation. So, here are a few habits I picked up from them over the years. For those of you who are new here, I've been a television business journalist for the last 16 years, and last year I moved to independent journalism after achieving financial freedom. I've covered every big and small corporate story in the last 17 years, interviewed hundreds of corporate and stock market legends, and here are a few of my learnings on how to manage and grow your money. Habit number 1, automation. Automating your investing is one of the key steps to be financially free. In investing and building wealth, consistency is key, and automation ensures that you stay on track even when life gets busy. I plan and automate everything, and I learned this from some of the wealthiest investors I know. Every single month, money goes from my earnings directly to my investments, and only after that, my expenses get covered. There's no room for decision-making and delaying of my investments. When you have to manually move money every month, you might at times lack the willpower to be consistent in your investment journey, and I try to leave no room for inconsistency when it comes to investing. Habit number 2, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you save. This is such an important hack to achieve escape velocity when it comes to wealth creation. Now, all of us always obsess about how much money we earn, but the important part is how much do you end up saving? Do you spend money on unnecessary things? Do you splurge on things you don't need just because the other person has it? People who create real wealth for themselves focus on their internal growth through reading, learning, upskilling, networking, building assets, creating side hustles, and do not really care about external appearances or looking rich. This brings me to habit number 3, spending less than you earn, keeping your lifestyle in check. As I said, I've noticed most really wealthy people and people with quiet wealth do not care about the latest bags, latest shoes, or the fancy cars. In fact, a lot of stock market investors who have built generational wealth are the simplest people in real life, whose lifestyle has not grown disproportionate to their income. Now, veteran investor Warren Buffett once told me that despite having a net worth of billions, he still drives the same car, lives in the same house, and interacts with the same set of friends he did over the years. You know, let's not forget wealthy people like good experiences and spend on things that money can buy, but they always prefer value over price. Everything you buy must have value, whether it is a stock or the latest car. Now, this is a big life hack and something that will help you save a lot more and hence invest a lot more in building assets for yourself. Habit number 4, moving from a scarcity to an abundance mindset. Most successful people I've met overestimate the upside and underestimate the downside. They take calculated risks by riding the wave and not just sitting on the shore. They invest in themselves. They upskill, they learn new things, invest in new businesses, take up new jobs, pivot to a new career, and allow themselves to fail multiple times. Moving from a scarcity to an abundance mindset is a journey. It takes time. It requires a lot of inner work. But once you've unlocked it, there's no real looking back. Habit number 5, thinking long term. I remember my first SIP was just $250 per month in a Vanguard index fund way back in 2014. In 10 years, I stayed put in that fund. And today, the value of that $250 monthly installment is upwards of $120,000. In the first few years of your investing journey, you are only buying into the volatility. The real power of compounding kicks in after 5 years. But most people I know cannot think long term, and they lose faith after the first few years when they either see no returns or see losses in their portfolio. I have interviewed legendary market investors who have held stocks even after they have fallen 40% from the top and halved in their portfolio, while most people sold. So thinking long-term is a great habit to inculcate. A lot of wealthy people plan everything with a 5, 10, and 20-year time frame. Compound interest is magical, but only if you give it time. Habit number 6, most wealthy people start early. Remember, if you want your 40s to be smooth, 25 to 35 are your golden years of investing. These are years when you can be aggressive. You have fewer responsibilities, healthier parents, no children, potential to stack up on skills. So, you must double down on your investing journey in this phase. These 10 years focus on building assets, reducing expenses, building businesses, and making your money work hard for you. It is a tough ask, I understand, because of how much cost of living has gone up and how much inflation is eating into our wallets. But you miss this window, and your 40s and 50s end up becoming a real catch-up phase where the bills are mounting but the money is not growing proportionate to your lifestyle. Habit number 7, System 2 thinking. Now, this is a very common habit of wealthy people. It was even covered in the book Thinking Fast and Slow, if you remember. Now, System 1 thinking is when you react immediately with no effort and no sense of control in any situation. For example, when you hear bad news about a stock and the stock has fallen 20%, you react immediately and sell the stock. System 2 thinking is more analytical, deliberate, deliberate, a rational side to the thinking process. It is pieced together by logical judgment and a mental search for additional information. Habit number 8, working on your relationship with money. Now, most wealthy people I know never chase money. They find the purpose, pursue that purpose with passion, and money eventually comes to them. Warren Buffett once told me, "It's glorious to earn money, but always remember you are trustees of that money. You're not the owner." Trusteeship brings with it detachment. Knowing that money is only a means to an end, it helps you fulfill your eventual purpose. And if you understand that, you will never chase money. But they do understand that money brings you freedom. It allows you choices to live how you want, to take those tough decisions. And yes, in that context, money is important. Now, these are just a few of my learnings. I will continue this series. If you have any feedback or any topic you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. Have a great day.